Okej, słuchajcie, szybko, bo jadę do Arundel. Może uda mi się wrzucić kilka spotów, więc zapraszam. Hej!
Yeah. It's about the time we got asked to move from Ordingborn. Yeah, to find somewhere, and we've moved twice since then.
Have you?
Yeah. Yeah. We're still desperate. Well, not desperately, but it'd be really nice to have a centre somewhere around Arundel. It's just trying to find something suitable.
Yes.
Somewhere. Just smash you over the head with it. If you get in too close, I could just punch you with the pommel. It's all of it's dangerous.
Tak?
And I might fight you with one of these as well. So this is called a buckler. So it's a tiny shield. The Normans, when you see the Normans further up the hill, they've got big shields because they don't wear much armour. And as time went on, people got more armour. Their shields didn't need to be as big, so their shields got smaller until you entered things like this. What? Buckler. So, you heard of swashbuckling? Yeah, swash, buckle. So it's a tiny mobile shield, so I can sort of drop it down to protect my legs, bring it up to protect my face. What I mainly do though is protect my sword hand. So I definitely don't want you to hit my sword hand, because if I drop my sword, I've had it. So I will fight from behind this shield. I'll always keep the shield out towards you, and then if you try and hit my head, I can bring it up, punch the sword out of the way. But mainly I'm going to try and defend my hand with it.
I didn't put it on the
Those ones on the ground? Yeah. Those are my gauntlets. More interesting things there. Hello.
Oj. Co on wypływa?
You use above that heat to put two pieces of metal together. It's called fire welding.
Talk about electric cars. We talk about Musk and Tesla. Right. So we had electric cars in the beginning of the last century. They got shut down. We have this man decides this thing can and must work in 10 years.
And that's because A, they're a bunch of cowards. No, they're not. They've only got mail armour, so they don't have to worry about things. And they've got mail armour. They need the big shields. This is a small shield. It has various disadvantages. Whilst a kite shield might, if you hold it here, it covers probably about 75 to 80% of your body. You'll be surprised what I can do with this shield. Right, if I hold it here, not covering much, is it? Just covering this little part of my chest. And you think, well, you've got all this bit, got all round here. What are you going to do? However, if I do that, as soon as I do that, what happens? You think, well, it's still the same size shield, isn't it? However, what I can do with this shield at that point is do this. I can fight, I can move this shield around. So if I'm fighting someone, it becomes very, very effective. Also means that if someone comes up, say, tries to go for a headshot, and I do that, and they faint, and they try and come down, I can see it, and I could probably put my sword in the way at the same time to protect myself. You will not find a knight, when I say a knight, he's out of his armour. You talk about the heavily armoured knights. They do not need a buckler like this, because their armour is their protection. This is for people who are slightly less armoured than a full knight. Very useful. You don't have to just use it in a defensive, so you don't have to just sort of keep it like that. I can parry with the sword, boom, and then I can go cross. We'll use it exactly like it. You see what I'm doing? If you notice, my left hand's guiding it. My right hand is, yeah, you get rather flicky with this. It's also more versatile than you think. Right, I will say with all these weapons, these are blunt. They would, in tournament, yes, they would have been blunt. So tournament weapons would have been verbated, in other words, blunt. They would have been semi-sharp. It's no point having a razor-sharp sword when you've got a bunch of guys wandering around in very, very thick metal armour. Become very blunt very quickly. It needs to be semi-sharp because not everyone had all that armour. The point is that would have come to a point, good for getting into the gaps. It's a versatile weapon. You can use every single part of it. So, you imagine if I go, pop, using the guard, pop, using the pommel. You can do what they call half swording, which is doing that. Again, it's very jabby. You can do the murder stroke, like that. Now, everyone says, oh, the murder stroke, that sounds... However, it's probably not so much to actually hit the person, unless they really are. If you go down and hit them, the problem is if it goes in, especially if they're wearing any armour, that goes in into the armour too much. You're not going to get your weapon out. However, what it can do, you can imagine if I go like that, they put their weapon up, and they do that, I can then pull, and then back to bop with the end. So it's this is very, very versatile. However, to be honest, when you're talking about a knight who's got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of armour, really armour, you have this. This is the 15th century can opener. The can opener being all the knights. Well, this is 3-in-1, it can be 4-in-1 as well. So, what you have is your meat tenderizer, your meat spit, and obviously your chopping implement. What you also have on here, you sometimes have, is on this side, is you'll have literally a little bit of metal, sharpened spike, called the butt spike. Because it's the butt at the end, yeah. That's why you never turn round when you're fighting. So, yeah, you fight basically like that. Or you fight like that. And basically you have 15th century social distancing. So, blunt force trauma, lots and lots and lots and lots of pokey. You see a couple of them down there, they've got slightly different ones. Some of them, they've got a slightly different hammer. This is a pole. Come on, pole. What's that?
Come on.
Pole. Pole axe, thank you very much. Someone said it. Whew. You're a hard crowd, come on. Instead of the axe, what some of them have, they have a slightly different hammer side, but they'll have what looks like a crow's beak. Literally, Bec de Corbin, the French call it, which is crow's beak. People think that, oh yeah, you can really get a good swing through the armour. It has its own problems. Because it's got that slight curve to it, it goes into the armour, might well kill the person, then you've got to try and get it out of that armour. If you can't get it out the way it went in, it's stuck there. And of course the chances are that bloke isn't going to be on his own, he's going to have a guy right next to him who's going to notice that you're busy going, and then back to pokey. So meat tenderizer, that is useful for people who aren't so armoured. It can also be used to hook. So you can hook round the back of the leg, hook round the back of the neck, bring them down that way, and then back to being pokey. Very versatile weapon, this. Very, very versatile. Good at attack, and in defence as attack, because obviously I'm like that. I can parry just as much with that end. If you notice, there's also these two nodules there. They actually did come to spikes. And of course you can do a side spike like that. It's gonna hurt. Basically, how to make someone go ouch in about 4 different ways.
Did you call that a halberd?
No, this is a pole axe.
Short in your hand.
Jeszcze fasolę.
That was the crash and burning ending. Where I just completely crashed and burned.
Czyli co? Wycieczka się udała? Arundel jest piękny. Zapraszam.